Why, hello YouTube, this is Baylor Mage again, and today's video is just going to be a quick introduction to trade. If you're a veteran, you will already know all of this information, but we've had a lot of new people around, people that aren't using trade properly, and people that struggle really hard with messaging like 45 people just to buy a pair of Wanderlust. We're going to put an end to that right now. This trade site is, at least in my opinion, the best trade site that any online game ever has. It is just a skill that you need to develop. I'm going to give you the starter tools to stop hating trade. That's going to be the tag of this whole video. Stop hating trade. It's actually a lot better than you think. Let's get into it. So, one of the first things that's happened a lot over the last few days, people are complaining about buying unique items, really cheap unique items that they just want to like level an alt or do something, and they just cannot find somebody. They'll message 35 people and no one will reply. So, two options instead. You're going to buy some cheap stuff to level your alts. Let's say you want a pair of Wanderlust shoes. What a lot of people are doing, typing them, and then they message this person and that 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 person, and around like 22 people deep, somebody finally replies. The problem is, all of these are just listed by price. You can tell they're worth 2 to 3C pretty quickly. There's only a few at 1 chaos. Most of the people at 1 chaos aren't even going to reply. And even if they do, you're just getting lucky. So how do you get around this quickly? 2 ways to do it. First thing, you should always just set a chaos limit real quick. That way, instead of seeing 1,000 results, we see 500. So we've locked out all the people who are using dump tabs to like dump stuff. Those people were never going to reply anyway. Plus, we were never going to pay that. If you're not in a rush, if you're not in an immediate rush, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to level a little bit later today, you should just hit the live search button. And then you'll get the next person that drops them into a tab. Will just ding. This will happen within a minute in most cases. It'll ping you. You'll know that person actively just put that item away right then, and you'll be able to pick it up from them. If you're in a rush, if you've decided to level right now, then you can't do that. You have to buy it right now. So we're going to do the second best thing, which is we're going to hit search, and then we're just going to click, it says listed 5 days ago. Honestly, this person probably doesn't reply. It's been in their stash tab forever. They've only had it up for 1 chaos. They're probably AFK. We don't like that. So we're just going to click, and then it's going to organize it by time. This was a minute ago. This was 3 minutes ago. This was 5 minutes ago. And then we're going to hit, here's a guy 7 minutes away, 2 chaos. You're going to message that guy. He's there. He's actively playing the game. This person was playing the game 7 minutes ago. Chances are they're there. Almost instant replies. The amount of times I have to message 2 people is pretty slim. It's almost never more than 2 people doing this. That's the first stage. Second thing I'm going to introduce people to is a tiny bit. This is just an introduction to buying a little bit of rare gear. All right. Just an introduction to buying some rare gear. So people in my stream, especially new people, have been struggling to buy rare gear for good prices. Everything seems too expensive. So we're just going to go over some of the basic options that you should know. We're going to say you're going to buy a pair of boots. Say you need new boots for your build. We know full well you're going to want movement speed. We're going to say you're going to want at least 25% just in this instance. Now, what's happening with most people is, let's say they've got a few pieces of gear to replace. They're already capped on, let's say, lightning res, and you only need fire and cold. So people will go, oh, fire, res, and cold res. And then they'll be like, oh, I need those, and I want life. And then they'll be like, oh, I need 60 life. And then you go, oh, I've got a few pieces of gear, but I've got none of these 2 reses. So people will do all sorts of things. They'll start by going, I wish I had 40-40. And then they'll be like, oh, I wish I had more movement speed. And then they'll look again. And then they'll be like, prices on here are 10C. I don't want to pay 10C. That's too much, or that's my maximum. So what we're going to do is introduce you to getting rid of them and leaving this field is an AND field. So this means everything that's here. What we can do is start a second stat group. And then we can say weighted sum. And now we can say cold res and fire res. and we can just give them both a weight of 1. And then instead of looking through 1,000 different combinations, because it's a weighted sum, we get this little sum thing here at the bottom. And if you click that, it'll just organize via the most amount of those 2 stats that I put in there, or however many stats you want, the most amount you can get for the price that you had. And there we are. Then we can go one step further, and we can say, for instance, we can check if there's one with an empty suffix. Could you have one like this that I could also craft on? Then we can have a quick scroll. Most of these are already crafted. Most of them already crafted on. That's okay. How about a third stat group, not crafted? No crafted modifiers. And now we're looking for the most amount of res that you can get with a life roll within your budget that has movement speed and an open suffix to be able to craft more on. Now we scroll down a little bit past the corrupted ones, and now we've got a fire res, a cold res, 46 res total, life, suffix, so that you can craft fire and cold, or fire and chaos, or lightning if you need it, or anything like that. That is just some basic usage that people should have in mind. These are very, very, very powerful tools. Even just basic use of them will be incredibly helpful. The last thing I want to go over is people have been struggling with currency and doing things like, oh, I need to change my 1 divine for chaos. This is just not something anyone should ever do. You should never, ever come to this website and be like, oh, I need to buy chaos right now. And then come here and hi, I'd like to buy your chaos for my divine. You'll easily message 10, 15, 20 people, get frustrated, annoyed. It takes up your time. You probably don't have degenerate gaming time like streamers do. If you lose 10 minutes of your playtime, that probably means a lot more to you than it does to me. So don't do it. Instead, we should always sell currency for what we want, which is very easy to do in game. We're going to come over to our currency tab. We're going to make it public. You don't have to do it in your currency tab. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in another tab. It's fine. I'm going to say, oh, my divine orbs, I actually want chaos orbs. And the going price of those was 201 chaos per 1 divine. So 202 of what I want for 1 of what I'm selling. Or if I want to do it in bulk, you can make it, 2010 for 10 if you wanted to. And so if we do that, I'm going to price it at 300 this time, just so it doesn't sell, because I don't want to sell while doing this video. But if you do it like that, negotiable price, 300 chaos orbs for 1 divine, and you tick and you mouse over it, it'll say asking price 300 chaos. So all I'm going to do if I need chaos is I'm going to price check it with my thing. It's going to say, oh, the bottom price around the bottom here is all 195. So I'm going to pick 195 or 196-ish chaos so that I'm not the lowest, because the lowest are always price fixes. You don't want to match here. I'm just going to go 195 or 196 even at this point. And I'm going to put that in there. And then within a minute, somebody's going to message me. I'm going to invite them. They're going to come to my hideout and give me the currency I was after without me ever looking. If you finish an entire map and you don't get a message, your prices are slightly too high. Just lower it by like 1 or 2 chaos. If you immediately get spammed, your prices are too low, ask for more. This works the same if you're going to sell chaos. You can just go, I want a divine. I would like 1 divine for, let's say, was it 201 chaos? And now, boop, you're now asking for divine orbs. So we're always going to do it like that. I'm just going to clear these because I do not want to I do not want to sell anything right now, but that's always how it's going to be done. You're going to say price, the thing you want to sell for, how many you want, how many you're willing to give. And then that's it. That should cover all of your currency trading back and forward with no issue. All of the basic buying of uniques and basic rare gear. That is just an intro level course. That's just stuff everybody should know. I hope that's helpful. If people are interested in a way more like in-depth version of how to use trade at like a way more advanced and bullshit, frankly, level video, I'll make one on that, but that's a whole different topic. That is enough for now. I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.